for our fourth speaker. He also wears many hats. So coming from the chef world, food world, and liquor world, so I'm sure he'll touch on everything. Is Marcus von Albrecht, and I've known him through many different ways. So as far as the Chefs Association goes, he'll explain that, I hope. And one little story there is during Dine Out, I'm sure many of you have had Dine Out experiences the last few weeks. One of the restaurants I was in had a 3-course menu, and on that menu I looked down at dessert and okay, this is interesting. I see XFour Vodka, chocolate vodka, pairing with this dessert. I knew who was behind that. I knew Marcus was behind that. So I ordered it, and it was great. And you had this chocolate, kind of like martini chocolate vodka. It was delicious. And this is one of his products, so hopefully he'll be talking about a few of his other products. So please join us in welcoming Marcus von Albrecht.
Well, thank you, Richard, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. What I want to talk about tonight, I had a beautiful speech all prepared and I left it on my laptop back in my office. I want to talk about passion, planning, and luck. Because all of those three things, ladies and gentlemen, made me who I am today. And who am I? I'm a person that's never worked a day in his life. I followed my passion. It's kept me busy. I'm busy 24 hours a day if I want to be. But the fortunate part is, it's not work. It's passion. When I was a little boy, my mother taught us all a very valuable lesson. She taught us how to cook. My father, on the other hand, he was an entrepreneur. And he said, cooking isn't where you're going to make it. Go into business. Go in to be a lawyer. So I followed my father's footsteps and went into university and got a job working for a cabinet minister for 1.5 years. And that's when I made the big switch. I said, I'm not happy. Food is where I'm happiest. When I was 4 years old, preparing food for our family, I pretended I was serving them in my restaurant. And I thought, there's something there that I have to follow, and that's from the heart. So it got me into the food world. And the food world, as you know, is a big and wonderful thing. I grew up on a farm. We had cattle, we had grain. I milked cows, I bought chickens, I raised vegetables. I traveled the world. My father was a big advocate of education through traveling, and he encouraged. Mind you, when it came to a one-way ticket that he kept buying for me, I kind of thought maybe he's trying to tell me something, you know? But fortunately, those lessons that I learned growing up made me successful today, in the sense that I follow a passion. I've had the ability to travel the world and teach cooking. When I was president of the Chefs Association, I wanted to give something back to my members, and that was to take their products to other places in the world. And got a group of chefs together, and we went and did delegations promoting Canadian cuisine, which later was endorsed by economic development and created free trade. A little boy from southern Alberta, following his passion, and cooking created commerce. And the free trade and the commerce got me into the food industry. I had the very good fortune of raising a stepson, and he had an insatiable appetite. So I made him food for life. And the food for life were meals, little home meal replacements. And one day I thought, you know what, that's a pretty good idea. Why don't I try taking that and marketing it? And that's where my father stepped in. And all his entrepreneurial skills gave me a little basis on never having the doubt that you could do something if you put your mind to it, but you have to plan it out. He was a big advocate of doing 10-year plans, 15-year plans, and writing down anything that you could possibly imagine that you wanted to be, or that you wanted to accomplish, or that you wanted spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Just let your mind go wild and then put it into a drawer. And I followed those things and put them in, and you know, it gave you a roadmap on what you should do with your life. You know, mine's food, and it's not necessarily what everyone is going to follow. But food is the essence of life. And eating fresh, eating local, eating healthy. That's my other brand, Health Check. And I became the little company, had the good opportunity of becoming the first company in Canada to make retail meal solutions. Didn't even know what they were called. Put a nice title to it. And got into convenience stores and grocery stores. And just making food was fun. And living here in Vancouver, coming from Vancouver, I mean, I went and traveled the world and cooked and learned about the different ingredients and lived in a van for 2 years on the beaches down in Mexico and Central America, and ate what the locals had. So when I got back to Vancouver, I was dying to go forward. And Vancouver's blessed with grapes and with proteins and vegetables and sunshine and seafood and everything under the sun to make really good food. And thank God that we have the local farmers. And you know what? Luck played a big part in it, because when I was in the chef's world, somebody actually told me that if I wanted to change cooking, I'd have to join it. So I had every position there was in the cooking world, in local and national, and then international, and had the opportunities of really getting to know good ingredients and meeting people in agriculture. In Donanaka, we started the farmers markets 15 years ago by bringing the product to the consumer. We tried to come up with means of transporting, trying to preserve it. And really, with chefs, the best cooking is just whole food, quality, no preservatives, no added MSG. None of my products carry that today. No emulsifiers, they're natural. I got into the liquor business because what goes good with food? Liquor. It was actually, I drank single malt whiskey and I couldn't afford it, so I thought that if I imported it, I could finally have something, you know, a more affordable product line. And I brought some in for shits and giggles for a whiskey release. And I found out that I had luck, because the whiskey I brought in was Finlagan. And if you know anything about Finlagan, there's bloggers all over the world trying to figure out where it's from. It's from a mystery distillery, and a mystery amount of years old. And that Finlagan started me in the liquor business. But mind you, single malt whiskeys were only good.
That's impressive. Well done.
I'll teach you to shake it. Single malt whiskeys are only good in the wintertime. And my father said, well, if you're going to go into business, you have to make something that's year-round. You have to have products to sell year-round. If you're farming, you have to have cattle, you have to have agriculture, you have to have chickens, you have to have eggs, you have to have butter and ice cream. And if you have homemade ice cream, you'll never eat ice cream again. Sorry, James. It's just rich cream. It's really yummy. So that brought me into going into champagnes and white wines and red wines and sparkling Proseccos. But something that people buy year-round is vodka.
Here.
Right? Everybody likes vodka. So, due to these opportunities I had of traveling, I found a beautiful vodka in Ecuador and Bulgaria. The people I decided to deal with in Bulgaria turned out to be mafia. And the people I decided to deal with in Ecuador turned out to be shysters. They were trying to make deals and get bribes, and I said, you know, that might be part of the culture, but it's not what I am comfortable with, because you just never stop. So with my background in cooking and amateur winemaking, and I've read about distilling once or twice, I sat down to make a vodka. And it was the best year of my life, ladies and gentlemen, because I did nothing but drink. Trying different distillations, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, different filters, different proportions of corn and rye, different waters. And we finally come up with ×4. My stepson, chemist, said, well, let's just use a formula, times 4, 4 times distilled. And then I had luck, ladies and gentlemen. After I had the recipe and I went to Okanagan Spirits and I said, this is what we want to make, I found they had really good water. I had the idea, just following a passion, and then the luck stepped in and said, that's what's going to make it. We just won an International Spirit Award. We were in the Grammys. We just got this back. We use local ingredients. There's no glycerin. It's natural. We made chocolate, trying to brand with local businesses. Xoxolat. It's 100% cacao, mixed with organic honey from the Fraser Valley. Vanilla that I make. XFour Vodka. And then we have a new one coming out. The XFour Bremner's Farm Blueberry Juice. And ladies and gentlemen, eat fresh, eat local, eat healthy, because that is definitely where I think that it's at. And prior to coming today, I know we've got into, my company has a complete children's line, MAVAlicious KidsEat. We supply fresh local products to 54 schools. We do the Meals on Wheels program for Vancouver, Richmond and Burnaby. We do grocery store business for all of the major chains. We do convenience store chains in BC, Alberta, and now Ontario. And all it is, ladies and gentlemen, is just producing good quality products. And having that plan that you follow. And I came across something that I wrote, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to share 2 minutes with you. I wrote this, it was a business plan that I think I wrote about 15 years ago. And honest to God, I came across it this weekend. And I wanted to establish a network of food and our hospitality-related businesses with partners that include local and state government, trade associations, business owners, education facilities, producers, manufacturers, hotels, and tourism travel groups. The network of food and hospitality-related business would include a local distribution center for food and liquor products, a network capable of taking local and national products to other countries, bringing other products back to country, to Canada, an educational arm that would set up the culinary business or hospitality curriculums for national and international customers. This could be done through talk, text, video, internet, and perhaps on-site instruction. Make these products and services through a series of media avenues, TV cooking show, incorporates adventure tourism, product exposure, a magazine that features stories, articles, and it goes on. And what I'm trying to point to, ladies and gentlemen, is have a plan. Subconsciously, it keeps you on track. Have a passion in life and follow it. And if it's in the food or the liquor business, or in the educational business, or the tourism business that takes you to these beautiful places of agriculture and fishing, follow it. Don't worry about the money, because if you have the passion, the money somehow just comes to you. And if you invest back into your charities, and to your locals, and into your internationals, and into the people, then you've changed a little bit of the industry that you're in, because they have spread the word. They have listened to you. They have added their own information to it, and they've taken it to all of those around you. And if you make good food and good booze, well, in the economy, when it's up or it's down, people always eat and drink. And when the economy is good, they spend more. And when the economy is bad, they eat less. But they still can do well. So thank you, farmers. Thank you, James. Thank you, food producers. And thank you, media people. You know, the media people bringing the bloggers and the tweeters and the internet and the articles that are written by people much more talented than I. You've spread the word. I'm just living life. I'm not working. And you are all making the dream come true. Thank you.